Just got to get a couple of minutes and let some more people join, and then I'll start. I'm not going to wait too long, because I don't want to be here all night. Let me know if you can hear me before I start, because every time I do a live, nobody can seem to hear me, so let me know before I start if you can hear me. Hi Gemma. Right, can you hear me? Right, so we're going to speak about Govanhill. I'm absolutely buzzing that Alex has got it back out there. Like, honestly, we have been trying to expose Govanhill for the last 6 months or so, and I kind of felt like we were fighting a losing battle. I felt like we were on our own, and then I seen Alex's video the other night and him standing in Govanhill, and I could have actually cried. Like, I have so much respect for Alex, and I will not stand by and watch anybody try to bring him down for what he's doing. Not a chance. Do not start on him, because I won't allow it. I've knew Alex. I met Alex a couple of months ago, and I met him through doing all of this. So I think it was about 6 months ago, I put a video of Govanhill out. It was basically what I seen with my own eyes in Govanhill. Can you still hear me? Right, so it's what I seen in Govanhill in 2017. So I put that video out about 6 months ago, and it went insane. It absolutely blew up. And like Alex, we had journalists contacting us. We had so many people contacting us, and we weren't interested. But then it was deleted from Facebook. I was deleted from Facebook. The group was deleted from Facebook, and we absolutely lost everything. We've been doing so much work on Govanhill, trying to expose it the last 6 months. We've been researching, we've been emailing, but I'll go into all that. I want to jump back to 2017 and just go back to the video that I put out there the first time. So we're jumping back to 2017, right? I don't come from Glasgow. I'd never heard of Govanhill in my life. Didn't know what was happening in Govanhill. So we were out in the car and we were going back home, and we ended up in Govanhill totally by accident. So we're in Govanhill and we're driving down this street, which I now know is called Allison Street. We're driving down and there's a couple of cars in front of us, and we noticed these kids standing at the side of the road. So if you've watched Alex's video, or you know what Govanhill's like, it's like, I don't know, the old tenement flats, and it's like a closed door and then like a shop, or windows and then a closed door, and then same again, a closed door. So all these kids were standing in wee small groups, like maybe two, 3 kids in each group, but they were standing outside each closed door, but there was an adult there. So the adult was standing right against the closed door, and the kids were standing like closer to the curb of the road. So we're driving down and there's 2 cars in front of us. So we noticed that the kids are trying to flag these cars down, right? And then when the cars are getting closer to the kids, they're kind of speeding right past them. And we're like, right, what's going on? So my pal was like, well, I'm no stopping. We thought that they were going to flag us down and rob us or something. Never been in that area in our lives, didn't have a clue. But we're driving past and we're looking at these kids, and I'm like, yeah, why are they dressed like that? Like, why have they got makeup on? I would say these kids were about 8 years old. Like, other reports say that these children were 12 years old. They were a lot younger than 12. I would say they were about 8 years old. That was fine. We just drove right past them, but I had such a bad feeling about these kids. We stopped at a shop at the bottom of the road, went into the shop to get stuff, started talking to this guy that works in the shop, and I just mentioned in conversation, like, what's the deal with the kids? What is it they're trying to do? And I knew by his face he was going to say something bad. And he asked if we come through and about here, and I said, no, we don't come out for anywhere near here. And he said, well, to put it bluntly, the kids are pimped out by their parents. And I'm like, what do you mean pimped out? I says, I'm no stupid, I know what pimped out means. I says, but they're about 8 years old. And he said, aye, that's what happens. He said it's been happening for years, like just pure matter of fact. And I was like, I don't, he's like, you don't believe me, don't you? And I was like, no. At this point there was an old man in the shop, a really old man. The shopkeeper was still talking, I was just standing like, is this guy mental? And this old man comes over and he says, listen, he said, I know it's hard to believe and I know it isn't nice to hear. He says, but it happens and it's been happening for years. He's lived in Govanhill for 20 years plus. He says, the only enjoyment that I get from my wife died is taking my wee dog out a walk. I can't do it after 5 o'clock at night. If I'm out with my wee dog after 5 o'clock at night, I'm getting followed off of wee kids asking me if I want to have sex with them, asking me if I want to do stuff with them. Even the parents have followed, he said, even the parents have followed me and they've asked me if I want the kids for an hour and price list. They go into this guy's shop and they give him price lists, and I was like, this is unreal. My heart just absolutely sank, and I was like, let's get out of here. We left straight away and we get back in the car, and it was a horrible journey back home. It was just pure silence, and I was just pure haunted by it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So we gets back to the house and I phoned my mum and I'm like, listen mum, this is what happened. We ended up in this place called Govanhill by accident and this is what we saw. And my mum's like, that, aye, I know. She said, that's been happening for years, Laura. And I'm like, what, you knew about it? And she said, everybody knows about it. I was like, well, I didn't know anything about this at all. And my mum's like, well, everybody knows about it. And I says, why is nothing being done? It's been happening for this long. She said, nobody wants to go near that place. Like, these people are dangerous. And I was like that, but still, like, at that point, I didn't know the extent to what was actually happening. I thought, right, they're putting their kids out in the street and they're selling them for sex. It was a lot worse than that, a lot worse. It haunted me for the next couple of months and it was all I thought about. But back then I was quite naive. I never had a group back then. I never done all of this stuff back then. So after a couple of months I never forgot, but I didn't think about it as much. And then going forward to 2018, I'm sure it was August, we're sitting watching the telly and the news came on, and I don't watch the news, but I just heard them talking about Govanhill, and it caught my attention, and they says that Special Task Force had raided Govanhill and 7 people had been arrested on child exploitation and trafficking charges, and a few kids had been arrested, saved and taken away. I phoned my mum straight away. I was like, Mum, see what's on the news? She said, I know, I heard it. I was like so happy, thinking, oh, it was all over the news. Everybody was talking about it at this point. It was in the papers. You can Google it. Just Google child exploitation Govanhill and you'll find it all. But these 7 people were arrested, and I thought, well, that's it then. That's like brilliant. The kids are all right, and they're in the jail. That's it, finished. End of. I was so wrong. So fast forward to now, I've got my group and all that, and everything's gone good, and I'm researching for another story. So I'm flicking through Facebook and I comes across this post about child abuse, and that's what we were researching for the group. So I started reading the comments on it, and I noticed a comment about Govanhill. So it had hundreds of replies underneath it. So I've clicked on all the replies and I'm reading through them all, and my heart absolutely sank. Like, it didn't end in 2018 when the people were arrested. It never ended. That was only a couple of the people that was taken away. This is still happening. It's the things that I found out about it. So after I seen this, that's when I put the first video out. So basically what I'm telling all you is this was in the first video, what we had seen. Then it blew up, like I said, it went absolutely mental. The amount of messages that I got off of people, I was getting like over 100 messages every day. I had messages for people that used to live in Govanhill and have moved just because all this is happening. I had messages for people that are still living in Govanhill and have witnessed this hundreds of times happening. I've had messages for, just to back what Alex was saying, Alex had mentioned in his video about being contacted for, I hate saying this, for a healthcare professional, and he had mentioned about one of the children being taken into the health centre, and she had, I think she was 9 years old, and she had a vaginal tear and an anal tear. I can 100% back Alex up with that kind of story, because a healthcare professional contacted us and said that a 17-year-old was brought in. She was on her 5th pregnancy, didn't have any of the kids, she was on her 5th pregnancy, and she was absolutely riddled with STDs. She also had an anal tear as well, that's what she was brought in for, and that's when diagnosed her with the STDs and stuff. It's another thing that I need to address is it's not racist when we're saying that this is Roma families that are involved in this, because it is Roma families. Nobody is saying that. Everybody knows there's a large Roma community in Govanhill. Nobody's saying the full Roma community is involved in it. Nobody's saying that for 1 minute. I'm definitely not saying that. But it is Roma families that are doing this. I've spoke to people for the Roma community that have told me things about it, that have reported this to the police themselves. So nobody's saying it's the full community. So don't come at us and call us racist because we're saying it's Romas, because it is, and it's Roma children, and it's no racist. It's just facts. It's factual. Do you know what I mean? But after we found everything out and after the video went out and stuff, well, look, we have to do something. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody cares about this place at all. We have to do something. So we started emailing everybody that we think would be interested in it. Different MPs for all and about Glasgow, members of the council, the police Scotland, and then we emailed Nicola Sturgeon because it's her constituency. So what's she doing? Do you know what I mean? She's aware. We know that she's aware of what's happening. So we emailed her. You would have seen that. I don't know if you've got me on Facebook. You would have seen the email response that we get sent back. So she didn't have the balls to respond to us. She got somebody for child protection called Caroline Lauder, who's an absolute disgrace to the Scottish Child Protection team. She emailed us back and basically just dismissed everything that we were saying. She said nothing's happening in Govanhill. Nothing has ever happened in Govanhill. Well, that's bullshit, because it's common knowledge that people were arrested in Govanhill, so it has been happening. She said, we take child exploitation and trafficking very, very seriously in Scotland. Well, no you don't, because on my last video as well, the one in the group, I exposed the grooming ring, the paedophile ring in Glasgow, 42 members, 27 victims, and it wasn't made public. Until all of us had to expose it. Do you know what I mean? So you don't do everything to help children that are being exploited in trafficking. It's bullshit. And child protection should be hanging their heads in shame, but we're going to harass them every single day. We're going to harass Nicola Sturgeon every single day. We're going to be sending these emails to everybody that we can send them to until something's done. We're not going to let this go. People are saying, I've seen comments today saying this is a conspiracy theory, this is a myth. I don't understand why you're protecting beasts. I don't understand it. This isn't a conspiracy, this is real and it's happening. And it's happening 10 minutes up the road for you, right under your nose. Why are you not interested? Do you know what I mean? That just makes you part of the problem. Anybody that dismisses this or pulls the race card, you're part of this problem. You're absolutely disgusting. I've had a lot of people messaging and saying like, what can we do to help? What can we do to support? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, apart from come to George Square on a Saturday. We're there every single Saturday at 12 o'clock, and we shouldn't need to be there shouting about child abuse. We shouldn't have to be there making people aware that our children are being raped on our streets and nobody's doing nothing about it. We shouldn't need to stand in the middle of Glasgow and shut. It shouldn't be happening. So if you want to support us, then come down to George Square and stand with us. Like, see George Square on a Saturday, it's basically, it's a voice, it's Glasgow's voice for child abuse. It's a total mic. If you want to go up there and tell your own story, go up and tell it. if you just want to be there and stand with us and listen to what's going on in Glasgow, because trust me, you don't know half of the shit that's going on in Glasgow. That's why we made the group up, to expose all the shit that's being kept hidden in Glasgow. We've got a right to know, we've got a right to protect our children. Do you know what I mean? So anything I find out is happening in Glasgow, it'll be getting exposed. I don't care who's involved in it. I don't care what colour you are. If a paedophile's a paedophile at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? They come in every colour, every fucking shape and size. It doesn't matter. I said I wasn't going to share the night, and I always do this. Right, so that's all that you can do to support us. Keep raising awareness about Govanhill, because this is happening, it's real. This isn't Pizzagate, it isn't made up stories for America. This is happening in your town, it's real, and we need help. We can't fight against this on our own. Nobody else is going to help them, so we've got to do it. We can't do it us. Do you know, we can't do it. Me, Monday, Rach and Alex, we can't do it on our own. We need everybody to stand with us. Keep raising awareness for us. Keep getting it out there. Keep sharing Alex's videos like mad. Come to George Square, support us. Bring your banners. Just we're at George Square every single Saturday, 12 o'clock to 2. Come. If you don't want to come in your own, message me. I'll meet you. You can come with us. Just come, and that's what I'm asking. Just please help us save these children, because it's happening, and I don't care. Come at me with your conspiracy bullshit and your myths and whatever. I really don't care. I have more important things to be worrying about, like these children, not shitty comments, views. Do you know what I mean? I do not care. Just before I go, I just want to say, I will fight to protect every single child in Scotland if they're in danger, no matter what colour they are. I don't care if they're black or white. If they're in danger, I'm going to fight for them and I'm going to help them. Don't ever come at me with that racist bullshit, and I mean it. So that's basically all that I wanted to say. I just wanted to get back out there about Govanhill, give a bit of respect to Alex. Let's keep sharing all this stuff and just let's work together and get something done for these kids, because it's horrendous. And I mean, 15 years plus this has been happening, it's still happening. We're talking about babies as young as 8. If you get a 8-year-old now tucked up in bed, maybe out in the street getting raped right now. That's what the 8-year-old are tucked up in bed with their mummies and daddies. They're not. So please help us. Please come to George Square. Mail me. I'll give you the details. Just please help us. That's all I'm asking. Thanks so much for everybody's support who does feed. Thanks so much for everybody's support who does feed day one for our group, all my mates on Facebook. Just like everybody's been totally amazing and so supportive, and we appreciate it. We really, really do.